by Trump.
Right. Good evening and welcome to another night of RWA Productions. And I'm your host, Tony Young. Up the top there, we've got Bradley Young. We've got Paul Wilson.
Good evening, everybody.
And Josh Wells. Right, tonight's agenda. First we've got to talk about is the game on Saturday. 2-0 win over Middlesbrough. What do you reckon of that then, lads?
By the way, it was Sunday, not Saturday.
Well, there we are. I slept in today. There we are. Slept in.
What a way to start.
1 minute. Can we start again?
And cut.
What? This is Bradley's.
Go.
Yeah, there we are. Right. As I say, 2-0 win over Middlesbrough. Well deserved, I think. Beat them in every part of the pitch. We'll go over to Bradley. What do you think of the game, Brad?
Well, overall, our game against Middlesbrough, I thought we played quite well against them. Ever since Middlesbrough's being an informed club, we haven't lost a game since October. With drawing games, obviously, but we haven't lost a game since the end of October. And going into that game was very crucial for us to get points on the board, wasn't it, Paul, as well? Obviously, when that Fry brought down Ross Stewart, it was definitely a penalty for me in my eyes. Definitely a sending off. Apparently, Middlesbrough have tried to appeal the red card, which we got unsuccessful for. And a brilliant goal as well by Amad Diallo to make it 2-0. I think it was just past. I think the link-up play between him and Roberts is absolutely excellent on Sunday, I seen. But overall, I'm intensely happy.
How about you, Paul? What did you think of the game, mate?
To be honest, I'm absolutely over the moon that we actually won them. You know, well, Mowbray won as well because I used to manage them, but I'm absolutely over the moon that we actually won them. But like you said, Brad, Middlesbrough actually tried to appeal their red cards. But I started laughing actually because this afternoon the FA has actually rejected their actually red card because they actually tried to appeal it.
Wow.
How about you, Josh? What did you reckon of the game, matey?
Yeah, overall, it was a solid performance, but the link-up play between Ahmad, Roberts, and down the left and the right, we were overloading, but Burrow were playing at a very high line, so there was quite a few offsides, but eventually we brought that high line down, and obviously the red card gave us a bit of momentum to just follow on and get the goal scored. We made it hard for ourselves, but we did it in the end.
Just to let you know, Anth is actually on his way.
Right, okay. And in the live chat, we've got Liam K saying hello, good evening, Liam. You all right? On the live chat as well, Joanne Young, please give you a shout out. We are proud of watching you at home at the moment. Hello, everyone. All right, everyone from Nanagoga's home. All right. And Liam K says, how are you? Yeah, we're not bad. We're not bad at all, to be fair.
Yeah, doing well. Actually, since well, like I said yesterday, since we got our first signing through the door.
Yeah. We want that minute.
Equa, what do you think so far of that signing? We'll go down to Josh.
Yeah, I feel another youngster added to the squad brings that bit more sort of physicality as well in the role that he plays. He can either be defensive or attackive, and I've been reading that West Ham were quite reluctant to let him go, but also they wanted to let him go to get a bit of proper football experience rather than under 21 football. which I think is very good. And Tony Mowbray's got another pickle on his hands to deal with. Like, who do I start in the middle? Because he's got the likes of Michu, Abdullah Bar, then he's got Corey Evans, like a leader. And now, obviously, to add him into the middle of the park, it'll be good to explore.
Myself, I don't think Michu should be playing. Like, he's absolutely horrendous. He has one good game, one bad game, and like he's absolutely diabolical sometimes.
Yeah, I think it's just a pattern, really. And you can tell he's came from French football because he's a lot softer than all the other players in the middle of the park.
What do you think? What do you think, Brad, on that? Bradley's gone asleep.
2 seconds, Tom. Just I've come back. I'm in.
Right.
Fellas, evening.
Oh, guys, can you hear me?
I can hear you fine.
Can you
Evening,
hear me?
Anth.
Bedtime, 10 minutes
Hello.
ago, Anth.
How are we doing?
Yeah, right, mate.
Yeah,
Right.
not bad.
Yeah,
Got a bit
you.
of a relay on it. Let me just see if I can fix that. 2 seconds. There we go. That should work. How we been?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Right, we were just on about this Pierre Equa.
Oh, yeah, the CDM from West Ham. Really
Yeah.
good prospect from. He had quite a good youth career for West Ham and a couple of other London-based clubs. But yeah, really good prospect. I'm just a little bit worried about who he's replacing. Have we got any ideas of who's got to leave the squad to get him in it?
I haven't got a clue myself. We were just on about
Yeah.
saying Michu shouldn't. Myself, Michu's more in than out. Like he's.
Yeah.
How can I put it? He's not there for me at all. You can tell he's like, as Paul said, he's gone from French clubs. He's soft as crap, basically.
Yeah.
And like he does more roles than bloody my bakery. Right, there we are. But there we are. That's me. That's what I think. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think like Michu, it's sort of he doesn't quite understand the league yet, and I don't think he's getting the grips with how physical the championship actually is. But I think Tony Mowbray wants to give him game time to see if he can try and build that momentum, but I don't think it's working.
No.
No.
What do you think, Paul? In or out with Michu?
I actually like Michu, actually. You know, I would say he kind of changed our game when he came on, but for Corey Evans, but I do actually like him. But going back to the lad that we've brought in, I actually think he's kind of like I said to you, Anth, I think he's kind of like a replacement for Corey Evans when like Evans is injured.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
He can take his role.
Yeah, I think he does need to be in the team with Michu at the same time. Equa and Michu, I think, will be a really good partnership. The French language being used on the pitch might confuse the opposition team, especially in this league as well. So you could have these two actually just having full-on tactical conversations with everybody else just completely oblivious to it. So I think this look what Wolves did over the last couple of seasons with their Portuguese players. All of them could have like a full-on French Portuguese or French conversation, and the opposition have no idea what they're talking about. So they could freely just shout, bombing down the right wing, pick him up. You don't know what they're saying, and you can try and infer it, but I think that's a little bit of extra that we've got there as well, because you've got who else is Abdullah Bar, yeah, French as well. So we pretty much becoming a mini French tester team, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
And I think Jewison, with him being Costa Rican, he speaks native Spanish, French.
Yeah.
So that's probably ideal as well.
And if the ref gives a bad decision, he can always say Femi LaBouche, what means.
So that's pretty much every week then, yeah.
Yeah. Well, this week was a pretty good referee. I've got to admit, really good referee.
Yeah. Can I just quickly add, if you look at the referees from previous weeks, I know this one was on the telly, but if you look at the referees when the last man was tracking back Ross Stewart and he got sent off, if you look, he didn't wave his hand like that straight away. He looked at his assistant and was like hesitating, and then as soon as the assistant flagged, he was like, "Yeah, I'm with you." Blowed his whistle. Last man sending off.
Mm-hmm.
And after the game, I heard he was a Premier League referee, him and his assistant. So that's probably what I gathered from it.
It's an interesting one though. I've been calling out for VAR in this league pretty much since we got back into it, and I know it's a thing that slows down the game and ruins the atmosphere in the stadium. But key decisions like that are game swingers. It was definitely a red card. There was no doubt about that. I think the foul was outside the box, and the last point of contact was outside the box. So I think it should have been just a free kick outside the 18-yard, no penalty. Stewart does end up like falling into the penalty box, so technically I can see why the penalty was given because it continued in there. But yeah, those kind of big things rarely happen for us. So you know what, take them while we can, because the week before with Swansea, with Luke O'Nine's incident was definitely a red card as well. By the way,
Sky was saying it was a yellow card, and we were all like 3 or 4 red cards. Definitely, he just went straight through him.
Both feet were off the ground. He was out of control.
Yeah.
Luke O'Nine's incident. So I'm saying it was a red. I know lots of Sunderland fans might be a little bit more protective, but the game's in the past now. We've just got Gill for suspension, and maybe he's directly replacing Luke O'Nine. The Ekwa might be replacing O'Nine while he's out the fold.
O'Nien seems happier commentating on Sky than playing for Sunderland.
Yeah, he did the commentary, didn't he? Was with Sky, I noticed.
Yeah, but he was getting. Do you know when Michael Owen commentates? He was getting that kind of reaction. It weren't brilliant.
Same as Don Goodman, he was very biased.
Yeah, we don't mind a biased commentator, do we?
No.
Of course not.
Colin, Brad, what's going on then? You're the info man. You've been players coming out.
Well, apparently, obviously Perry Ekwa signed last night, but I've got some news coming as well from the Leeds All Talk podcast. Apparently that were the front runners to sign Joe Gelhardt, the 20-year-old. I don't know if that's a loan deal. I don't know if that's a permanent deal. We'll have to find out when time comes.
Is he the one that we're competing with Wigan for?
Yes, but Wigan
are out of it now.
Wigan's out of it now.
I was going to say,
apparently
if we
Blackburn came in for it.
Blackburn came in,
Yeah, Blackburn's a better prospect for that kid. If it was between us and Wigan alone, we would win it, because Wigan are likely to go back down to League One at this stage. But if it's Blackburn,
Wigan's in a transfer embargo as well.
Oh, why is that?
Why
that's news.
I think they've got. I'm sure they got a penalty off the AFL.
Yeah, they did. They're struggling to pay players' wages and stuff and get it out on time. But when we were down Wigan a couple of weeks ago, I was actually speaking to Max Power, and he said the club's getting ran like an absolute tin pot.
And that's coming from a player who used to be at Sunderland.
and who plays for Wigan.
Yeah.
Sunderland agent.
We don't need 007, we got Max Power.
Yeah.
Well, any other news, Brad, that you can come out with? Can't hear you, Brad. Oh, he's gone. We'll come back to you. We'll have to come back to you in a minute. Are you alive there, Brad?
I think he's got poor internet on his. Yeah.
Wow.
He's gone in and he's gone out.
Yeah.
He's like Mitchell, shaking all about, roll all over the floor.
So,
He's back.
Right. There we are. Put him back in. He's in. He's out again. Oh, God. He's had more subs.
Dijaku.
I like Jacko. He's a good player.
Actually, looks like he's gone out.
That's where your banana. Dijaku's heading the same place as your banana skin in the bin.
Oh.
Well, to be fair though, mate, like even when he's a dedicated striker, right? He's a forward. Even when we had that striker crisis with Ross Stewart and Ellis Sims out injured, why wasn't he first pick? If he's a dedicated striker, he should have been in there every single week for those 10 games. So
my thoughts on him is he runs like a chicken. He ducks when he goes to head a ball, and that's why Tony Mowbray didn't start him.
I don't know. I just think he's been tasked with something he's not comfortable with. He's not an out-and-out striker at all.
No.
I put him maybe as like a cam, but
Yeah,
competing at the time at some. I would put Pritchard essentially where he is. Michu, Barr, Ahmad. All of those players are competing for where his natural position is. So if somebody is going to leave the club, Jacko is a prime candidate because he's fifth string at the minute, and I don't know if any like to hear that.
I don't know if any of you guys know this, but you know when Alex Neil left and Dijaku played in the cup game against I don't know what team it was, but Procky and Dudley were in charge. They didn't know. The club didn't tell them that cup games counted for Dijaku's game counts, like to buy him permanently. And they played him in the cup, and Dijaku's current club got back to us and said that was his 11th game. You've got to buy him outright now for £1 million. So obviously Hoffman left, and Dijaku stayed, and he wasn't very happy at all.
To be fair, Hoffman and Jacko, our two most recent German players, haven't had a good time with us. Could that be a bit of a culture shock from? Well, at the time it was League One, but the physicality of our league versus a Bundesliga, or is a Bundesliga B that they were at? Maybe it's just different physicalities and what they're not used to.
I know Hoffman and Dijaku were part of the first team buy-in squad when they won the Champions League, and I'm thinking, how on earth are they getting there? God knows what Ross Stewart can do.
Yeah, if that's Bayern's first string team, I am really surprised. They've got to be like third, fourth choice.
Oh yeah,
there as well,
without a doubt.
Because you'd think if they were that good, we would just play them. We'd pay the £1 million and play him if he was that good. But if he's on fringe, and you're talking about not getting him in for a 10th game, yeah, like why would we want to keep him?
I do think with him being such a young age, the club will probably send him out on loan and not want to waste all that money just to resell him for cheaper money.
2 minutes, lads. I'm just gonna get something. I'm just gonna be 2 seconds.
No problem. While we're waiting, just make sure you get like
Tony.
and subscribe on the channel.
Probably a Ethernet cable for Bradley's Wi-Fi connection.
You pop your drink or something.
I've got a substitution coming on. Bradley's coming to do the thing because his computer's gone down. So I'm gonna go off.
So Bradley's changed his name to Tony.
Now you see me, now you don't. One room, then another.
Yeah.
I'll be your substitution.
There we go. Right, look down, here we go.
Yeah, Tony's on the bench now.
Who's that? Tony Mowbray against Fulham.
Oh dear. So right then, guys, what we're talking about, because my computer was absolutely crap. What's the crap then?
It was up to you, but it was we were talking about Jacku being fringe and on the way out.
I heard someone saying that Diako's my best player. Whoever that was, neat with that some brains into the back of the head.
Who did somebody genuinely say Jacku was Sunderland's best player?
Yes, that's what
Who?
someone. I heard that.
That wasn't me.
Probably
I
Dave the
think it was
Ref.
him.
I think it was Josh, I think.
No way.
That wasn't Tony.
Or was it
Bradley
Tony?
for one. He runs like a headless chicken, and when he goes to head the ball, he ducks like this.
Exactly, he's absolutely terrible. He ducks the ball like that. He runs like a headless chicken.
The thing is, though, mate, he still puts on the red and white shirt for us on the match day.
Oh,
I wouldn't want him to put it on. I wouldn't even
Because
chuck him
you-
in a bloody Gateshead shirt.
Oh.
Liam Casey's predictions for Southampton versus Glasgow tonight.
Probably
Nathan
just
Jones is
2-0.
going to get the tactics right and batter them 9-0.
Well, hey! At least someone gets it right.
Yeah.
Paul!
To be fair, I think the Scum's probably winning that one, you know.
The first leg's a home leg, so I think if they played like they do it against Man City, they're in with a chance.
Yeah, they're in
I actually think Nathan
And you-
Jones will actually beat them first. I actually think they'll beat them. Nathan Jones.
Yeah, I do as well, and I also think Newcastle are not scoring enough goals at the minute to have a confident enough final cup run.
See, I'm a Sunderland fan. You can see this, right? Sunderland everywhere.
Yeah,
I think defensively, Newcastle are probably the best or the second best in the entire English pyramid at the minute.
well, I mean, when you've got
So
a 6 foot
if Southampton are going to beat them, yeah, I know. If you're going to pay for them, if you've got the money, you're going to throw it at it. They're bound to have a good defense. I get that,
Yeah.
but if Southampton are going to win, it's going to be a 1-0 game. There's no way Southampton are running away with it. It's like 2-3, 4-0. It's just not happening. I hate to see it.
Go on, mate.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, that was it. It was just. I think if Southampton win, it's 1-0. But if Newcastle are going to run away with it, it's probably going to be a 3-1 Newcastle win.
Right. Josh, what were you going to say before I jumped in there? What were you going to say?
I was just going to say, like Southampton will just want to grind out a result at home for the fans. Really, going away from home is probably a different matter to that shitty stadium up the road.
Right then, guys, I just need to give a shout out to somebody, and he's on my right hand corner. I need to give a shout out to two people, in fact. I need to give a shout out to one, Paul Wilson. I need to give a shout out to two, Lee Farrell, because they have accepted to do my fan cams outside the stadium every home game. So thank you very much indeed, guys. I do really appreciate that. And you've got us like 192 views for that one as well.
That's all right.
So
Are you going to run up to Sean Middleton and punch him in the face? They're my fans. I want to
Yo.
interview them.
I wouldn't do that to Sean.
To be honest, if you did that, his blonde wig might fall off.
I've actually seen Sean actually without his hat on. Actually,
apparently they want me in a boxing fight, me versus Sean.
Oh yeah, charity match. Be like KSI versus Logan Paul. And I told Brad he should make a diss track for Sean.
Alright.
Please don't.
Also, guys, as well, before we move on to anything else this evening, in the summertime we are running a charity football match for the podcast as well. So we are looking for players, anybody at all, long as you're over the age of 16, obviously, because
I'm your goalkeeper.
Josh is the goalkeeper straight away. There you go.
yeah, you signed up, Josh.
Oh Oh dear, oh dear. So we're going to move on to the FA, the big game on Saturday, the big old fourth round. Fulham versus Sunderland down at Craven Cottage. Sunderland has been allocated 5,725 tickets for that game.
I'm one of them.
So there's going to be 5,725 fans there, then, right?
Yeah,
That's it.
Plus the ones,
Fulham no good.
plus the ones in the home end. I bet a few people will try and get tickets for the home end.
Oh, a few people will try and
Well,
get it.
that would be Newcastle fans, that.
Oh yeah, with the black and white. Come on,
With the
Middlesbrough, you can
scarves.
do it.
Oh, wait, because Southampton's in London tonight, aren't they? Newcastle's in London tonight because we play Southampton. All we're going to do is travel in
Yeah, they'd be sitting down.
and they'll be in Fulham.
Adam
So
Pearson will be on a yacht.
Anyway, guys, what's your thoughts on the FA Cup fourth round, Sunderland versus Fulham? What's your thoughts, Paul Wilson? We'll go to you first.
It's going to be tough, I think.
Oh yeah, it's going to be tough.
Well, the new lad is available for the weekend as well. Will Tony Mowbray actually saw him in? That's the question.
I wonder if he will, because he is available to travel on selection on Saturday as well. Josh, what's your thoughts on Fulham versus Sunderland fourth round? Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think it's going to be very, very difficult to grind out a result, but our away form's better than our home form, so I'd rather an away tie at a good stadium to sort of prove a point, really. Talking about the players we take, I'm thinking if we're staying in the Championship another couple of seasons to get that sort of solid squad build, I'm thinking if Tony wants a cup run, which by the sounds of it he does, start with a solid starting 11 and have a very young, weakened bench, the likes of Chrissy Rigg, Jewish and Benetti. I'm hoping he starts him because he deserves a game here and there because he is rapid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anth, what's your thoughts on Saturday's game, mate? What's your thoughts?
For me, it completely depends on what kind of string Fulham pull out. I think if they come out with the same squad they did against Hull in the previous round, we will beat them. I don't think there's any debate about that. It's if they think now we're in the fourth round, now the FA Cup's starting proper, are we going to put out our first string Premier League players? Or do they want to not risk it and finishing potentially a Euro push? So it depends on who Fulham put out. If they put out their string that they did last time, I think we've got the beating of Diop and Tosin at the back. Alvarez Marias is a half decent figurehead for them, but I think we've got the beating of that team. So it depends on what tactics Fulham put out, but I think for me it's probably going to be a Sunderland 2-1 away win. If it is their first string, I think it will struggle, and it might be like a 1-0 Fulham win. But I think time will tell with that. I hope we get through past the next round, because I don't know if you know much about what's happened this year in the FA Cup, but there's already 10 Premier League teams out of it in the fourth round.
There's many teams out of it in the fourth round.
Up the Wrexham.
Careful, in case you might be watching.
So,
yeah, but she's finishing very late tonight, so I don't think she'll be on, she says, but never mind. What was I going to say? My opinions on the FA Cup fourth round. Really, when we played, was it Shrewsbury last round?
Yeah,
it was Shrewsbury last round. When we played Shrewsbury last round, obviously we started with a 4-3-3. We started with like Alice Baxton goal, like Jewison Bennett and your Michoud and your 09s, obviously. But for this game, what I'm thinking is, will you go for a strong 11? Will you put Anthony Patterson in goal like you would normally do? Will you put Ross Stewart up top? Will you put the likes of Trey Hume out there again? Put Daniel Bard and Bath out there? Because my question to that, I think, yes, he will. 100%.
Yeah, I think it'll be nice to get Adji at least a few more minutes in the tank.
Algier Lessie, him as well, and Perry Ekwar, give him a couple of minutes, a start as well for his debut. And apparently that there's 2 players coming back from injury. There's Dennis Hirkin and there's Alex Pritchard coming back from injuries on Saturday as well, so they can feature in Saturday's game against Fulham as well.
Their boys came back Monday, I would say.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't potentially risk them just in case, with it being a very risky move coming back from injury, playing at a Premier League club.
I'll put them on the
There could
bench.
be some very bad damage there. Obviously, put them on the bench, but if you go out there on that pitch and you feel a niggle, straight away you want to be off, especially when you've got half of a championship season ahead of you.
Yeah, I agree with the one about Pritchard, because that's what happened. When he came on against Wigan,
Yeah,
Pritchard got injured
and
straight
he's
away.
down on the floor with his hamstring straight away.
So for me, is that a case of we basically prioritise Pritchard playing over everybody else, but he's not ready to be back in the first team yet. He's not physically 100%. Is that what it is?
No, he won't be back. I don't think he'll be back.
Until he'll be back, yeah.
I don't think he'll be back personally until the Millwall game the week after.
Do we leave it another week, though? Because we did all right without him last week against the Smoggies.
Yeah.
So do we let him rest another week, then bring him back into the first team fold when he can be 100%, rather than when he's at like 80%?
Yeah. Let him have a week rest.
Yeah.
Obviously, Sunderland off. Oh, go on, Josh, go on. Sorry.
I was going to say, I think with Pritchard being like a West Ham lad as well, like a Southerner, I think he might want to be included in the squad with a big team like, well, not big, but like Premier League team like Fulham.
Liam Casey is on the live chat. He says, are we any closer with any other new signings? Yes, we're close to bringing agreements into sign Joe Geltart, what I've just mentioned before. And I don't know about this Isaac lad from, he's a French lad as well.
It's interesting with him because he's
he's
liked every single Sunderland post on Instagram, I've noticed.
Who's that?
Isaac, somebody, I can't remember his second name. He's 21-year-old. He's coming from...
It's not Hunt, is it?
Eh?
We said it's not Hunt, is it?
Oh,
I got that.
Josh hasn't got a clue.
No.
I don't think he has.
Mute yourself and then say that.
I think it's Isaac Fahidji or something, isn't it? He's another French lad.
Oh, Il Hadji.
Isaac Hahaji. The Haji, yeah.
Yeah. I think we get the French Ultra, aren't we?
Yeah.
We may as well have a French flag beside the ground.
Yeah, we might as well have a French squad.
We may as well get Patrick Vieira as manager for our next manager list.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Tony Mowbray's on the list for Everton, as Tony says.
He did actually. He said that.
Well, who we got French players? We've got Amaz, we've got Michu, we've got Ekwar, we've got this Haji kid who comes in.
We just need a French goalkeeper.
Hugo Lloris. Only joking.
No, we'll have Ilian Meslier or whatever you call him from Leeds. He's very tall and he's a decent keeper.
Who's Jacob Carney?
Man United.
He's not French, is he?
No, he's currently listed on the SAFC players list on their first team as number 30 goalkeeper.
Yeah, he's the number 30 for the under-21s as well.
Hey,
So he's in our first team squad as the
I know he does attend the training before the match and he does do the goalkeeper warm-ups and stuff.
Yeah, he does.
I would say he's more of the under-23 goalkeeper, Anth.
All right, okay. So he's now currently on the first team squad's players. So that means to me, I think he's going to be playing as in goal for us at Fulham. Jacob Carney's in goal.
No.
Heard it here first.
No.
Heard it here first.
No.
Why else is he on again?
I don't know.
Mackem 84 on the channel, he says, "Alright lads, hope you so well." Oh,
He might have been a Man United superstar youngster, but I doubt he'd play for Sunderland against Fulham in the FA Cup.
Never know, Tony Mowbray could be listening to this.
He likes biscuits and Jaffa cakes, but I don't think he likes ginger kids in goal.
Likes more celebrations now because Sky Sports give him a box of celebrations after the game.
Oh yeah. Well, if he puts Jacob Carney in goal, he might get ginger nuts off the BBC.
There you go.
Guys, this weekend, obviously we haven't got a league game, but next weekend we've got Millwall. So if we beat Millwall, if Middlesbrough draw against who's playing? If Middlesbrough draw against Watford, that'll be good. Hopefully, then we could go.
I reckon Watford will beat them.
Oh, I hope not, because I want to draw out of that. To be fair.
I want to draw as well, but the recent form of both sides, I reckon the draw is quite possible, obviously, because we've knocked their confidence a bit with a 2-0 thrashing over their local rivals.
To be fair, none of the games that happen between now and our game against Millwall impact our position in the league at all. The West Brom game might, but if West Brom lose, they will drop goal difference essentially, and we'll stay in ninth before we start that game. So West Brom's the only team we really need to keep an eye out on, and maybe QPR if they win, but they have to win like 12-0. So like literally just keep an eye on the West Brom game, lads, and I think then it's just focus on our job against Millwall.
Yeah, I think it's very tight at the top, so.
Well, yeah, it's we're 3 points away from third.
Yeah, it's anyone's game really, apart from Burnley, because Company's flying.
Oh, Company's flying.
And Sheffield United.
Sheffield United's flying as well.
I wouldn't say as good as Company, but still quality. Better than all the rest.
Heckenbottom's doing a good job as well, isn't he, really? At Sheffield United, he's doing a brilliant job.
I mean, the top two, Burnley on 62, Sheffield on 57, Watford 44. So there's a 13-point gap. That's 4 games, at least 4 games and a draw, so 5 games for Watford to catch up into the top 2.
Yeah.
To be honest, I thought Watford would have been one of the ones up there, the strength of their squad and their dressing room itself in general, not just the first 11.
I would have thought Norwich would have been up there as well, to be fair.
They are. These two teams are. They're third and fifth,
Yeah,
mate.
they are.
The third and
Yeah,
fifth
we're
are just
saying-
not like
We're saying
dominating.
this, it's just a big gap and it's quite tight.
Mm.
Yeah.
I think between. Go on.
No, it's just one of those. Like the league table, I think anyone from Watford down to maybe Reading in 14th could see themselves in the playoffs come the end of the season. We'll start to see at every 5-game mark from now on, we'll start to see a couple of teams drop out of that. I'm hoping Preston drop out, then Millwall, then Luton, and then it's just like 6-7 teams looking for those 4 places. And hopefully we're still in that pack. And to be fair, the way we are going forward, it's a really good indication that we could be in that top 6 pack come the end of the season. And considering it's our first season back as well, that's fantastic. It's very rare you get a double. Yeah.
I was going to say Go on, Brad.
Wonder if we're going to do Sheffield United, how they got promoted from League One to the Championship, then from Championship to the Premier League straight after. Because we went straight up after
Be
that.
good, but we'd probably go straight back down because we haven't got the money to thingy the Premier League. Because Kirill's still under his mum's pocket till next year. So.
Yeah. Well, is playoffs a chance, or do you think, Paul? Do you think playoffs is a big possibility for this season?
Do you actually think the club will actually go into the playoffs though? Because I think at the moment, because from what it's sounding, I think the club would want to, try and stay in this division. Yeah, Stephen going back down the ladder.
That's what I thought.
And then from there, and then probably try and get to the playoffs, and then see if we can get promotion probably next season.
Yeah. I I was going
Well,
to
there's
say,
a guy in the live chat. There's Terry Arco. Oh, sorry. Terry Arco's in the live chat. Says, "Hi lads, what do you think of Hume in the last game?"
outstanding. He gets better and better every game.
I think Trey Hume's one of the best players we've got so far at right back. I think he's really
Definitely.
good.
And he's very versatile. He can switch to the left as well. If you noticed, him and Gooch or him and Adji switched
know.
to the left.
Anth, what's your thoughts on Trey Hume before we go on? What's your thoughts?
I like him as a player. I don't think he matches our style at the minute.
All right.
I think he only fits into our team if we play 5 at the back with the wingers bombing up. If we're playing him as a dedicated right back or left back, depending on the day, he does seem to drift out and create gaps for the opposition to break through. So I think he needs to mature himself a little bit. Like, he can't be on every single attack, but the ones he does, he needs to be very smart around. So I think he's got some learning to do. He's got clearly a lot of talent. His mustache is a bit horrendous.
Yeah.
But if we're playing 4 at the back, I don't think he should be pushing forward as much as he is. But when he is involved, he's very creative.
Liam K on the live chat says Sheffield United are a transfer embargo as well. Well, you know what I'm going to do?
By the way.
Instead of doing
Stoke is as well.
Yeah, Stoke's in there as well. You know what we're going to do? Instead of going to do do you know how we do a chant every Tuesday, Paul? Like, we're going to make up chants and whatnot.
Yes.
Well, instead, what we're going to do, we're going to ring up Tony Mowbray and pretend, "Hey, Tony Mowbray,
We're still right. They could literally picture someone in training and we're like, where on earth did he come from?
Oh, flip off, man, Tony. No answer.
Like, he's getting the paper signed.
That's why, because he's doing all the paperwork for players coming up. I think
like I said to you, Brad, last night, Christian Speakman apparently has been at the club nearly all night through the transfer window to actually bring players in.
No sleep.
Yeah, he's done overnight, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has.
No sleep for Speakman.
You sounded like Mark Goldbridge there.
You did. Oh dear.
And that's football.
It's unbelievable.
Best.
It's unbelievable, Jeff.
And it's a goal for Man United.
Hey.
Oh dear.
Rashford scored.
Let's have a look. Question for you all, guys. Who in your lifetime has been the most naturally gifted SCFC player? And we're going to start with Josh on that one, to be fair. Josh, who's your lifetime natural gifted player been?
Not really gifted. I'd probably say currently Dan Neil. But overall, it's a hard one. And I'd probably say Villa.
Oh, you're young and
No, there's other people from the past, like, I don't know, Dean Whitehead and Martin Chopra, but, like, there's other people that have been useless. Like, Jan Kirkhoff, Didier and Dong.
Yeah, Dong was okay.
It was okay. It was a money scandal, mate. Absolute money scandal.
Yeah, but I think if you look at his stats record, he was probably one of the most
creative.
Yeah, like he had more points per game than most of his players that were on the same kind of wage packet. So
he was
at least
good.
The worst money bags was Chodwell, mate. Jack Rodwell.
Rodwell, yeah.
That was just a waste of effort.
The Pennywell pundits, yes, Steve.
Pennywell. We've been talking about how good Jacko is and how he's going to stay at Sunderland for the next 10 years.
Well, Pennywell, if you're watching, if you think Jacko is the best player in the world for Sunderland, you need to leave. I'm sorry. Lewis Casino says, "Evening, Droops." All right, Lewis, how are you doing? We've got Session for me, Martin Smith. Right, my best naturally gifted Sunderland player, right? Oh, Paul, I haven't had Paul yet. Oh, I'm for the Mackem, so really I should get these more. Oh, fire. Come on.
I'll do the same as what Josh did. Current, I think Jack Clark. He's just naturally talented, and you can tell. And in the past, Asamoah Gyan, absolute gift of a player.
All right.
He's even better with his flips.
Oh, sorry. Paul, what's your thoughts? What's your best natural player gifted player?
Current.
And before. Come on, what's it doing? Aberdeen!
Go on then. Ahmad and the other one, you know what? I'm going to have to agree with Macca. Stefan Sessegnon.
Right. For me, I've got a lot.
Oh no.
The thing about Footnotes is, if you look up Diaco with the dictionary, then he's been in his blue waffle.
Imagine Diaco's face on that diagram of blue waffle.
Do you want to get demonetized? I'll show you blue waffle.
Fabio Barini.
Liam K says, who do you think will go from League One to the Championship for next season? Well, I think
Plymouth is coming up.
Wednesday, Plymouth and Ipswich.
Wednesday, Plymouth, Ipswich. Good point there. Anyway, for me, for this question, what Macca was asking before, what's the best Sunderland player gifted? I'm going to say Amaz as well for the current. But you know what I'm going to say for the past players? I'm actually going to say Jermaine Defoe. For the most gifted player. I think he's been out.
Do you guys know that we had to pay him off at the end of his career when he left Sunderland halfway through the season?
That doesn't surprise me because we might mismanage that as a.
We had to give him a big payoff for his end of his career.
So Alex Neil wanted I disagree with that though, because I think he was a hard worker. I don't think he was naturally gifted. I think he worked hard.
He grafted.
Yeah. So I agree. Defoe was a good player for us, no doubt. But naturally, no.
Yeah. Bacarad 84 says on the live chat, he sees his first shout on Guy and Anth, mate.
He was here. He was in and out, but what he showed us he could do, amazing.
His front flips were the best for his celebrations.
Name another Sunderland player that could do that on command.
Ross Stewart would probably break his neck.
Name a player that you think has been a massive waste at Sunderland, as in his talents were not used properly. I'll go first on this one. Wabi Kazri. Wabi Kazri for Sunderland was massively not where he should be. And when he left, bang, he's won stuff. Go on, Paul, rubbing his hands.
So is Brad as well. I'd say wasted those. Since he's not here now, you know what? I'm going to say Rodwell.
Yeah.
Shot on the rod.
I think that's self-inflicted, though. That's got to be self-inflicted, surely. He's not done good outside of Sunderland either, though, has he? So that's not a waste at us. That's just him being shit and getting money for it. I'm saying Wabi Kazri was a brilliant player, just we never used him.
Yeah.
Right. Shall I go first before you, Josh?
Yeah, go on, Brad. I'm still thinking.
Right. Waste of time player, he's still here. I'm sorry, guys, but it's always going to be the one for me, Leon Diaco. It's always going to be the one for me.
Is that not for Mr. Pennywell?
He's a headless chicken. Seriously, that's what he's described as. I hope he doesn't get a start on Saturday against Fulham, I swear.
What he does now.
Or he'll probably perform like actual Bayern Munich's first team playing against the Premier League team.
I'll laugh
Just
my
no
head
crap.
off. I'll laugh
Watch
my
him
head
score on Saturday now.
Watch him score 2. He'll shut everyone up.
Imagine if he scored 2 goals on Saturday, I'll be laughing my head off. I'll be like,
Someone who ever put a bet on really stupidly for Dejaku to score 2 goals would have been like 500 grand richer.
I mean, did they put the bet on for his entire career?
Probably 2 goals in his entire career.
How
Doesn't
many
inc-
goals has
do-
he scored?
Doesn't include B team or youth football because that's just a play in the park for him apparently.
Mate, this is bizarre. He's been playing professionally as a striker, an out-and-out striker, since 2018, and he has scored 11 goals.
I'd rather put a gun up front that could probably strike more bullets in the back of the net.
That's really poor.
That is really poor, that, like.
That's for Leon Diaco.
Leon Jacko, yeah. He scored 7 goals for Bayern Munich 2, and 4 goals for us. He scored 4 goals.
Diaco hat-trick from Liam.
And he cost us £1 million and it blew out of Kirill's arse. Like, what the hell?
Jackie Lincoln's on the live chat. Good evening, Jack Lincoln, Harris.
Yeah, hey, Jack.
One last question before we go off, guys. Who's going to come down from the Premier League this season to face us in the Championship next season if we're playing the Championship?
Everton. At least
No.
we'll reunite with Jordan Pickford.
You know what I can see Everton doing at Sunderland? They've done it so many times.
Well,
Like,
you never know
how
if Big Sam
were,
goes in.
You know how we finished 17th, 16th, 17th, 16th for like seasons on end? I can see them doing that.
You never
I think
know.
Southampton, Wolves, and West Ham for me.
West Ham, Wolves, and Southampton.
Mm-hmm.
Nathan Jones is looking
I would like
furious in his
Moyes
chair
in
tonight.
the Championship.
I would. It's way to see me.
Forest and Bournemouth, says Jack.
Ooh.
My three teams who I think are going to go down is Everton, Nottingham Forest, and possibly what's the other one? West Ham. I'm going to go for West Ham. I think them are on a really run bag of form recently. Under Moyes.
Moyes in the Championship.
Moyes.
Welcome back to Sunderland, mate.
I don't think anybody likes the Moyes era of Sunderland, like at all.
Bournemouth,
Can you name one good
even
thing
Bournemouth,
about it?
Southampton.
I'm going to say
Right then, guys.
Bournemouth,
Go on.
Bournemouth, Everton, and West Ham. But at least when Everton come down, Jordan Pickford can come to the Stadium of Light and go back home and get his kebab for the first time in a while.
Score
But
predictions.
at least we
Paul,
won
for
for win.
Score predictions, Paul, for Saturday as well before we go. I got one off Anth. Score prediction off you. How are you, Paul, man?
Well, the way the last game went in the cup, and this is actually against Mitrovic as well. And we've got VAR.
We've got VAR.
So
Depends
We
what
actually got
ref
VAR?
we get, though.
Have we got VAR? Oh, we're winning at 7-0 now, mate.
It depends what ref we get.
I'm going to say 2-1 Sunderland.
Josh, what's your score prediction for the weekend?
Realistically, I'd like a 0-0 draw and a replay at the Stadium of Light for better atmosphere and more support. But I'm going to say if we go down there, I'd take a 3-1 win to Jacko hat-trick.
3-1?
Yeah, could you take Sunderland to the fifth round?
He's been smoking some.
Is that me or Jacko? Because
Mate,
it looks like
you-
it when he's running around that pitch.
My score prediction is down below here. Fulham 0, Sunderland 2, and Diaco are going to brace. Sorry, what?
Clean sheet for Jacob Carney then, eh?
Ross Stewart are going to go and off his feet. I'm a Diallo. Okay?
Running down the wing and the Sunderland sing.
I'm a
Diallo.
Diallo. Right then, guys, we're running out
You haven't
of
got
time.
Ant's score prediction.
He said 2-1.
He said 2-1.
Oh, yeah.
Did 2-1 ages ago.
Are you
mate.
listening, Paul?
Are you not enough this week, Paul Wilson?
No, he's too busy thinking about VAR and Dejatu hat-trick.
What's happened there at the weekend?
I'm laughing at this. Diaco is a welcome.
Does he need his asylum seeker approved as well?
Right, guys, that's it for tonight. From myself, Bradley Young, from down on the bottom of.
You want to give your channel a shout out, Anth?
My channel's this. Hit subscribe on this channel. Hit
Can
subscribe
I
on
just say as well?
Thank you.
Really quick. Can I just say really quickly as well? My German Husky could score more goals than Leon Dejatu in the championship.
Put it this way, right? My granddad, he's retired from football about 35 years ago, and he could score more goals than Leon Diaco.
I'd even put Brad Young up front rather than him.
What, me?
Yeah.
Right then, guys, take care. Goodbye for now. We'll love you to leave.
See you
Have we the
Monday
same?
with Steve.
No, was the one before that, Paul. Was the one before that.
Oh yeah.
We're going live on Thursday as well for the Fulham versus Sunderland preview. Take care. Goodbye for now. Love you and leave.
See you later.
Toodaloo.